Hello YouTube, this is going to be a video on pretty much the media and on the mass media, the public, mainstream media, and why it's a problem. But first I want to refresh your memory of something I have talked about in the past, and that is something called lemmings. Lemmings don't think for themselves. Lemmings don't really care about anything other than their view or the view of themselves in the eye of other people. A feminist lemming today could be made into a misogynist lemming tomorrow. If the public opinion changed overnight, then they would be the misogynist the next day. They have no ability to think for themselves. They don't want to think for themselves. They're not intelligent people. They don't care to be intelligent people. Their entire worldview and opinion is based off of whatever the opinion of other people is. They look around to see what other people think, and then that's what they think. And that is exactly why the mass media, as it is controlled currently, is a major problem for the entire freaking planet. And here is an example. Let's say instead of the social Marxists, let's say they didn't control anything. Let's say instead it was good people. It was humanists that control the mass media, and they wanted to create the best possible environment and world for everyone on the planet. Let's buy that shit for a minute. Or even better yet, let's just say it was businessmen, greedy capitalist businessmen with no concern for anything but whatever sold the most, that they made the most money. Even in that scenario, you might have a possibility where you could create a better, more efficient world and world culture. But herein lies the problem. Pretty much is this. You have a world culture now that is controlled largely via screen. Death by television screen is a thing, my friend. You have a culture that is controlled by parental authority figures through a television screen that you're taught to trust from infancy on up. For years and years and years, many Americans look to Dan rather is a parental voice, someone telling them the truth. Now imagine if that kind of structure was to collapse, or not collapse, or rather the culture collapsed. Let's say a race of superior, technologically superior, intellectually superior space beings, aliens, came down from the sky or some shit. And this is a ridiculous scenario, but stay with me. And they saw this structure already in place, and they took that over. They somehow looked their way into positions of power, and they set themselves up in our mass media. Now they were telling us what to think, and all that we thought was from their lips, our ears, and their opinion. It might as well have been as if God spoke, because all you assholes would do whatever they told you overnight, and they would have conquered the planet in a night's time, because you're an idiot. And that is exactly what happened with social Marxists. They went through the institutions in their long march. They got into education, into religion, religion's always been shit, so fuck religion, but I mean, they got into the education system, they got into the media, they got into the court systems, they got into everything. But the most primary fucking important piece of business they got, the most important fucking thing they took over, was the mass media system. And everything you get from them always says the same thing. All you have to do is turn on any major media network except Fox News. They're the only goddamn exception, and I used to hate Fox when I was a kid, but they've actually turned out to be better than the rest. But they've gotten to every major mass media system except Fox News and maybe Russia Today. Russia Today, you know, those evil Russians are the only ones telling you the truth, actually. They got into everything else. The social Marxists, the communists. Communists initially, in many cases, came from Russia, when they were actually freaking communists. Took everything over, and their message and what they tell you to like is what you like. You listen to the fucking music, their crappy music they tell you to listen to. You don't listen to Nirvana, you listen to Justin Bieber. You watch their crappy TV shows. You don't watch Cosmos, you watch fucking Wendy Williams. You wear their crappy clothing. You're not gothic. You don't wear black. You wear whatever horseshit clothing they're telling you to wear at the moment. You vote for whatever crappy politician they run. You don't vote for Trump. And you don't vote for Bernie Sanders either. Who did you vote for? A lot of you, somehow, like the complete lemming idiots you are, decided it was a good idea to vote for Hillary Clinton, even though she's a fucking criminal who destroyed classified information. That's what you do, because you're a lemming. And even in a scenario or a situation where the world was being ran by good people or even people that were indifferent, this would pose a threat. It would pose a threat, but it could be used for good. But with fucking social Marxists, communists, Bolsheviks, Red Brigade motherfuckers running the show, and that's what runs your fucking country. And globalists, and people that want a one world government and a new world order, and global microchipping. With them running the show, it is a unprecedented threat to human civilization. It is a precedent to the white race, to every other race, to men, to women, to the country, and to the entire planet, and even to every country on the earth, and even to the environment, the planet itself. Look at the destruction that is happening to the environment. It is a threat to all living civilization and all living life. From the tallest Texan to the smallest grasshopper. They are destroying the fucking planet. And you idiots can't figure that out. In order for there to be any quality of life, or in order for any real good to return to the world, the media has got to be fucking conquered. We have got to take it back in the name of the people, any way we can, as democratically as possible. The media has got to return to the people, because these freaks are fucking you all. That is all.